Richy Rich, what's up, man?
What's good? He knows, man. Everything's all right, man. Just enjoying this day, man. Wanted to salute you, man. Saying Happy Veterans Day, bro.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, it's
Appreciate
Happy
you.
Veterans Day to Tom Ross too. I know he can't be here too, but I know both of you guys served in the military. You guys did a lot for this country. You put in your time, so you deserve to be acknowledged on a day like this.
Appreciate that. And I'm sure Tom Ross appreciates that too. I mean, I did 8, but he was a lifer. He did 20 years. So service is service nevertheless. So we appreciate you saying that. So appreciate the Veterans Day sentiments. Um, Now let's get back into this situation where we talk football. Ross, so that he knows that I'm not finagling the situation and I'm not making it weird. Um, I got Richie Rich because we I know Ross trusts Richie Rich's judgment when it comes to this. So we're gonna go back to Sunday night and Monday. We're gonna go to Sunday night and Monday night football. And we're gonna talk about those games because those are the two games that we needed to talk about. You said we were 1-1, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the Sunday night football game. Did you think the game was going to end up in that outcome? It was going to turn out that way?
The Sunday night football game last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going. Well, I had a feeling that the Titans were going to run the football because they were going to have the rookie and Malik Willis in there. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but he was able to do some things uh, that showed that he can be their quarterback in the future as long as he continues to make strides. He's strong, man. He's strong as an ox. I remember, seeing, even though he's not a big, tall quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
I remember there were linemen trying to bring him down. He was able to evade them or like push these guys off. He's a strong quarterback and he definitely can make throws. He has an arm. He just has to, continue working, to in that aspect and throwing. And he's going to be the quarterback of the future because they've already met their ceiling with Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, he's like a mediocre quarterback. They already gone as far as they can with a quarterback like that. It's actually Derrick Henry that pushes the needle for that team. So he had a really good game and he made the game interesting. Pat Mahomes, he had to go in his bag to win the game for that team because the Titans, they have a really good defense. They weren't making anything easy for the Chiefs. They limited their running game, and you know Pat he had Mahomes he had to just do surgery, man, and he had to use his legs, so he had to go in his bag, and I didn't think it was going to be a blowout. I thought the Titans were going to keep that game close, which they did, but the Chiefs were going to win that game at the end, which they did.
Okay. So based on the records, me and you, we picked the Chiefs. Tom Ross picked the Titans. So based on that game, the record was as stood. Ross was 32-22. I was 35-19, and you were 39-15. So after the end of that game, Ross is 32-23. I'm 36-19, and you're 40-15. So now let's get to the Monday night football game. Did you think the Monday night football game was going to end up the way it did?
You were 35-20.
I wasn't no damn 35-20. I was
You
35 and
sure?
19. Yeah, 35 and 19.
I'm 40-15 now.
You 40-15. I was 35-19, and I just won this one, so I'm 36-19.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. And,
I
and
remember I had a great week. I was on your
Tom,
heels. I was on your heels. I think you forgot. I was on your heels from last week.
And
You
what
lost
you
a
say
lot.
Tom
You
Ross
lost a
was?
lot. You lost a lot last week. Last week you lost a lot, and I gained up a lot on you.
You gained up a lot on me, but you also, when we touch on this game, you know, it
I'm gonna
it,
be
it
20 on
put
the next one because remember I'm one
it
and
puts me
one. So
it puts me
you probably
it
thinking
puts me
20
back
because
one on you.
yeah, you probably thinking 20 because of the next game because I was 1-1 based on the Sunday night, Monday night football game, which is what we're gonna get to right now. We get into the Monday night football game. So the Monday night football game, did you think the outcome of that game was gonna be what it was?
Of course I did. I don't know why you thought otherwise. You know Lamar Jackson. Every time that dude has a primetime game, he shows out. And the defense stepped up too. The Saints, they're a team, man. They're all over the place. They don't know who their quarterback is. We know they have playmakers on that team. But that team, ever since Drew Brees, retired, and Sean Payton, decided to retire, walk away from the game. That
Mm-hmm.
team hasn't been the same, man. So uh, that team just, I don't know what their vision is. I don't know why you made that bet. Uh, you made that pick against the Ravens. I knew the Ravens, they can't lose games like this, especially seeing how the division is right now. They still have the Bengals and the Browns competing for playoff spots against them. They can't be losing games like that. So I knew they were going to win that game.
Okay. All right. So based on the tallies, you're 41-15. Ross is 33-23, and I'm 36-20. So that's where you get the 20 from. You get the 20 from that back of the game. But the reason why I picked against the Saints, I mean, the reason why I picked against the Ravens is because the Saints, they have had games where they've put upsets on teams that they weren't supposed to beat. And I just thought that this game was going to be one of those games where it was going to be like that. I don't bet against Lamar Jackson, but hey, they were playing at the Saints home. And let's be honest, the Ravens offense, the way it's set up, is set up in a way to where it's tailor made for Lamar Jackson or bust. So if Lamar Jackson is not playing all the way up to par, they're not gonna win. But Lamar Jackson has to be balling out. Can he ball out every game? I'm not saying he can't. Lamar Jackson is a superstar football player, but I don't think no one is immune to balling out every game. So that's why I picked the Saints because I thought this was going to be one of those games where he wasn't going to ball out all the way and they were going to rely so much on him. But he proved me wrong, and I'm glad he did because Lamar Jackson is who he is. He's Lamar Jackson. But anyways, let's get to Thursday night football game. Did you think Thursday night football game was going to end up the way it was, the game yesterday?
I was actually a little shocked with the outcome of that game because I thought the Falcons were going to be able to run the football well, execute better against the Panthers. But the
Mm-hmm.
Panthers, they were able to limit their run game. And
Okay.
actually, I don't think the Falcons actually went to the run a lot. They were actually trying to force plays from Marcus Mariota, and the Panthers were doing a great job at getting to him, flustering him.
Mm-hmm.
And they also were playing in bad weather, man. It was raining every time their game has bad weather like that.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are going to have, you're going to get a turnovers. You're going to get some bad football games, but one team is going to be able to capitalize on that. And Panthers were the team to capitalize. They were at home. They got production from some uh, players that they don't normally get production from, and they were able to pull up that upset. Falcons, they're a team that they're like an enigma. You don't really
Yeah.
know what kind of team you're gonna get, but because Cordell Patterson came back, he's their best player. I thought they were gonna win the game, but
Yeah, this
obviously
game could
that
have
didn't
gone
happen.
either way because let's be honest, both teams are garbage, are garbage, evenly garbage. So one is 4-6 and the other one's 3-7. They're evenly garbage.
Yeah, true
Panthers are
that.
just a little bit more garbage, but we didn't think the Panthers were going to win, but they won the game. They won the game 25-15. So if we're tallying this up based on the tally, um, Richie Rich is sitting at 41-16. I'm sitting at 36-21, and Ross is sitting at 33-24 because we all picked the Falcons, right?
Yeah,
Because you got Tom Ross's picks. I sent it to you, right?
yeah, I got his picks.
So there's no even denying it, the disputing or nothing. And because I want Ross to know from an authentic standpoint, Richie Rich got the picks. So that way Richie Rich could regulate too. Now let's get to Tampa Bay. Let's get to let's get to these games. Let's start breaking down the picks on these games. So I'm gonna speak on and tell you Ross's picks based on the game for week 10. But before we get to that, we got somebody B Nep said, what defense should I pick up and play? AZ, LV, KC. Go ahead and break that shit down for him, Richie Rich. What defense should he pick up and play?
What defense should he pick up and play?
Yeah, for this week. Because remember, we this is fantasy football. So we got to give them what's going to be good for them for this week. It's week 10.
Hold on.
Beating up, what's up, man? And then Tommy De Jesus said, let's talk about the Browns. We're going to get to the
Yeah.
Browns. So talk to him, man. What defense should we pick up this week? And what defense should sit their ass down?
I think he should pick up the Las Vegas Raiders, man. Kansas City Chiefs defense, they're gonna have to play the Chargers. So the Chargers, they're gonna get a little healthier. I believe Keenan Allen is coming back, and Mike Williams,
He
he
has
might
in
be
that
coming
order.
back too.
He has in that order. Is that the order that you suggest?
Yeah, I
All
suggest
right.
going with. I know Las Vegas have been playing horrible as of late, but they're playing the Indianapolis Colts. That team is terrible right now. They just hired Jeff Saturday. He's a guy that a lot of people believe that hiring was a hiring over his head because the guy
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have no coaching experience. He's played for the Colts as a lineman when Peyton Manning was playing, but a lot of people think that he's Jim Irsay's like buddy or something like that. It's the reason why he got hired. But that coach team, they fired a guy, because the team has had injuries and the quarterback they signed, Matt Ryan, didn't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really the coach's fault. It's just a team that they need some new players in there
All
to
right.
bring to help them get better. Like Jim Irsay, he looks like he's worse than Jerry Jones. Especially with this hiring. I don't think it's gonna help out. I think the Colts are gonna make a lot of mistakes that the Las Vegas Raiders are gonna be able to capitalize on, and their defense is gonna look somewhat decent in this game because the Colts are just a bad team. They got a second string quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
Ellinger, in there who hasn't done anything, and I don't think he's gonna do anything against the Raiders. So go with the Raiders, man. That should be a first team. That should be the first team that you should pick defensive wise because Kansas City, they're gonna have their hands full with the Chargers.
There you go.
Herbert gonna put up numbers on them. Uh, he always does. All those Kansas
Mhm.
City Chargers games are always light them up games where both the offenses are clicking. So stay
Fact.
away from Kansas City and Arizona. They're playing. I would stay away from them as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go, B-Nep. You got your order. Now let's get to the games because we got to talk about them, man. Let's jump right into this because I feel like we need to talk about it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Ross picked Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Week 10. Who you got?
Man, honestly, I think the Seahawks are going to win that game because it's on a neutral field. You know, they're going to Germany. It's going to be interesting. No team has
Mm-hmm.
the advantage here, and I think the Seahawks, man, Geno Smith, uh, those
Yeah,
two
man.
receivers he has, and Lockett, that running back, man, Kenneth Walker, man, these guys have been stepping up. That defense, they've been stepping up, man. Their team, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a 49ers fan, but I'm worried. I thought the Seahawks were gonna be trash this year. They got me a little worried, because that's a team that the 49ers are gonna have to compete with in that division because the Rams have fell off. They're not who they were last year. They're not playing like Super Bowl champs. The Cardinals, that's a team, they're all over the place. You think they're gonna take the next leap, but they don't. They always disappoint. But the Seahawks have emerged. That's a surprise team. I thought they were gonna fall off a cliff, but no, man, that team is there, and they got some nice pieces on that team, especially Geno Smith. He's surprising everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, they got that win against the Rams this past weekend, but I think it was more the Rams playing bad football than the Bucks actually winning that game. No hate to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's clutch. You don't give him those opportunities, but if the Rams played better, that their offense played better down the stretch, they would have won that game.
Listen, man. I don't bet against Brady. You already know that. Never bet against Brady, dog. So I'm going with the Buccaneers, man. And I feel like Brady finally got his win. And when Brady get a win, he gets on a roll. So I feel like Brady's gonna start getting on the roll. He's gonna start doing his thing. I don't know what happened last week, but I felt like last week there was finally a synergy that went on between him and the O line, and I think it's going to continue to carry on. So, unfortunately, I hear what you're saying about the Seahawks, but they're gonna have to eat that 2 minute offense, man. They're gonna have to eat that shit. So it is what it is. They're gonna lose. So I'm rooting with the Buccaneers, and Tom Ross TV is rooting with the Buccaneers as well too. All right. Now, before we get to the next game, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns, man. I want your forecast of that team. What's your temperature about that team, the Cleveland Browns, man? How do you feel about them overall as a football team? Do you feel like the organization is doing what they're supposed to help them out? Because they're gonna be playing the Dolphins. We know they're gonna get drugged by the fucking Dolphins. We know that. We're not gonna sit here and sugarcoat that. The Dolphins are gonna do their ass the fuck up. Tua's gonna have 600 passing yards on them. That's gonna happen. So if you're a Browns fan, I'm sorry to tell you that you're getting drugged. But I want you to talk about the Browns, man, and explain what's up with that team this year.
Well, I think they're where they're supposed to be at, the Cleveland Browns. Because Deshaun Watson, he's going through a suspension right now. He's not due to come back until week 11. Uh, so they don't have Jacoby Brissett. He's done a decent job so far, but they don't have their main guy in there. But they've still managed to uh, to make a little noise, win some games that they weren't supposed to win. On the backs of their running back. That dude is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the top leading rushers in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not number one, Nick Chubb, that dude
Yep.
is always consistent. They're always putting it on his shoulders. He's one of the backs in the NFL where you could give this guy 30 touches, and he's gonna give you a chance to win the game. Now,
He's a thoroughbred, man. He's like his name, Chubbs. He's a
yeah,
thoroughbred.
he's a thoroughbred. Their defense, they've been up and down all year, but they have beasts on defense, especially
Mm-hmm.
on that D line, man. Those guys showed up in the last game against the Bengals. They terrorized Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Last week. This week it's going to be interesting to see. Now, I do think the Dolphins are gonna win that game, man. But don't be surprised if the game is close and the Browns have a chance to win it because the
Okay.
Browns are able to run the football.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett, he got a connection with Cooper, man. He's been
Okay.
connecting with Cooper really well these past few games. So, and the Dolphins defense, they haven't been that good. Just look what they gave up to how many points they gave up to the Bears the week
So who you
before.
picking? Who you picking?
I'm going with the Dolphins. I think it's
You
going to be a
know,
high
Ross
scoring
don't,
game.
Ross don't learn. Ross be picking against the Dolphins like every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks. His ass ain't learned.
Yeah,
His ass picked the Browns again.
it's going to be a high scoring game, but the Dolphins going to win.
Okay. All right. Well, you know me. MIA, that's where I stay, baby. So we don't pick against the Miami, dog. Don't get me start talking that Miami slingo. We don't pick against the MIA. So I'm picking the Dolphins. And we're gonna win that shit. And the reason why I said we're gonna win is because two are gonna have 600 passing yards. I mean, how they gonna stop Tyreek Hill and Waddle? How they gonna stop them boys? They not stopping them boys, man. Them boys gonna run roughshod on the Browns defense. So it's already evident that Richie Rich, you picking the Dolphins, I'm picking the Dolphins, and Tom Ross. See, this dude, he gonna keep being in that losing that third wheel. He picking the Browns. All right, so let's get to the next game. All right, let's talk about the Vikings game. How you see that game playing out this week?
And that's going to be a good game. Uh, but I think the talk of the week has been the health of Josh Allen and his UCL
Mm-hmm.
injury. He got injured in that last game against the Jets, and he's questionable for this game. He most
Mm-hmm.
likely is going to play this game, but the questions are how effective is he going to be out there because it's a shoulder injury. How
Mm-hmm.
to his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder. How effective is he going to be out there? Because he likes to sling the ball. He also likes to run, but he also likes to sling it as well.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to connect with Stephon Diggs or those other pass catchers on that team? If he's not, the Vikings have a great chance of winning the game. Like,
You know what?
and
Josh Allen been balling, man. He's been a high octane game manager this year. Like when you think of game managing, he's been the highest level of that this year in football, and it's showcasing in the record. And then like you said, he has a hellified target in Stephon Diggs, man. We've known about Stephon Diggs since the dude hit the league. That dude's always been an electric wide receiver. So I mean, I just don't see the Bills losing this game, even though the Vikings have the better record. This is one of those games where the Vikings are going to get a rude awakening. And the reason why I say they're going to get a rude awakening is because they playing Buffalo Bills at home, man. Like Buffalo Bills is not just going to be playing at their house and they're just going to let the Vikings come in and not be ready for them. This is one of those games where it's like a test your temperature moment. Because when you look at these guys' record, if we're just saying we're looking at football right now, we're not fast forwarding it week 18, week set, we're not fast forwarding to that and then going into the playoffs or whatever. We're focusing on right now. This could be a potential Super Bowl matchup if we're being honest with ourselves based on the record, right? So they're gonna play this game like it's a Super Bowl atmosphere type of game. So I think the Buffalo Bills are gonna be ready.
man, this is a tough game, but based off the numbers, defensively with the Vikings, they do a good job at limiting team when they run the ball. Knowing Josh Allen's situation going into this week where he's gonna be looking, the Bills are gonna be looking to establish the run because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to put too much pressure on that bad shoulder that he has right now. They're gonna be
Okay.
looking to run the ball. The Vikings do a good job at limiting the run, man. So I think the Vikings have a good shot at winning this game. It's gonna be a close game, but the
Okay.
Vikings are gonna be able to inch it out. I'm going with the Vikings in this game because of
Good,
that.
good. I'm glad both of y'all I'm glad both of y'all motherfuckers going with the Vikings. I'm going with the Bills. This is gonna be the separation game right here. It's gonna be the separation. I'm going with the Bills. I don't see them losing at home. I just don't. And like you said, Josh Allen like to sling it. That's why I call him a high octane game manager. That motherfucker will sling it. All right, let's get to Carmine 23. He said, should I trade Pierce and Judy for Amon Ra and Ricard White? My RBs are Ickler, Etienne, and Hunt and White. The trade happens. What should he do?
He's asking, should I trade Pierce and Judy for Amon Ra and Rashad White?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like his running backs except Hunt. You know, looking at that trade, Amon Ra, man, he's solid. I like him. That's become that guy's become Jared Goff's favorite target. So yeah, I think you should do that trade, man. I think you should do that trade. That's a solid trade. Amon, especially when they traded TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings, Amon Ra is gonna get a lot more looks in these coming weeks, man.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the next game. Ross picked the Chicago Bears. I like that. He's consistent with his Chicago team, but he picked the Chicago Bears. They playing the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions. It's two equally garbage ass teams playing each other, but they playing in Chicago. So who you got?
Man, I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think Justin Fields gets this win.
Okay.
He's finally
All right.
able to get another win for this team.
Since Ross picked against the Dolphins, I'm gonna pick against the Bears, dog. I'm picking the Detroit Lions, dog. This is gonna be the game changer. Because let me tell you something, the Detroit Lions, they had an upset. Y'all remember they had an upset last week, and I had picked their ass. So it's something about me and Detroit Lions. We linking together. I'm picking the Detroit Lions to beat up the Chicago Bears. So I have you documented as picking the Bears, right?
Yeah, I'm picking the Bears.
That's another loss for you. I'm telling you, man, this week gonna be separation for me again. It's gonna be a week of separate. I'm on your heels. So that's why you got to make sure you make these picks on point. All right, let's get to the next game. All right, next game, the Kansas City Chiefs. Who you got, man?
Kansas City Chiefs.
They're playing the Jaguars at Jacksonville.
I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, I think we all uniform with that, and there's a reason why we're all uniform. See, you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the dude is a game changer quarterback. Let's just be honest with ourselves. So I think it's all uniform that we're all picking the Chiefs. Okay, so that'll be a win for all of y'all because y'all picking the same thing I'm picking, Chiefs. Okay, now let's get to the next game. There's really not much to say about that because we already know Jacksonville is gonna get done the fuck up. All right, let's get to the Giants game. Giants, they disappointed me the last time, but I'm not betting against Saquon Barkley, man. I'm just not doing that. Who you got?
I'm going with the Giants, man. They're at home. They're coming off a bye. Guys were
Mm-hmm.
able to get healthy. Uh, you know, they should win this game. Houston, they surprisingly have a decent. Well, nah, they don't. Their run D is terrible. Saquon's averaging about 97 yards rushing a game, so expect him to run, run all over that team.
His
Having
shit
that.
only dropped because that week where he had 50 something, man. I'm mad about that shit. That's why I want him to have like 200 plus. so that he can be right over 100K, 100 again.
Oh yeah, Carmen 23. I wanted to, go back because I was like, man, looking at that trade again, I wouldn't do it because I don't know. I don't know if you get enough production out of from Rashad White. He's not. You know, he's not really producing like that. Amon Ra, he's a solid pickup to have,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it outweighs Pierce and Judy. Judy, he's starting to build a rapport with Russell Wilson a little better. And Damon Pierce from the Houston Texans, that dude is a baller, man. That running back, he's a rookie this year, but that guy is a very solid running back. I wouldn't do that trade if you still on the chat, man. Yeah, keep those guys because
So
you're gonna.
Come on 23, you got hit with a what we call a fantasy football version of an audible play. Richie Rich went audible. Listen, man, don't pull the fucking trade. Anything else you want to say on that, Richie Rich?
Nah, I said what I had to say. Keep those guys, Pierce and Judy. Judy's gonna continue thrive, getting better with Russell Wilson.
Okay. So when we talked, we all unanimously said Giants. I'm never picking against the Texans again because every time I pick against that garbage ass team, with that 1-6-1 team, they just I don't know, they never could get the job done. They only got the job done for me one time. So I'm not picking against them. Screw them. All right, let's get to the Steelers. They play the Saints. Who you got, Doug?
The Saints and the Steelers.
I'm gonna tell
Mm.
you out the gate. I'm picking the Saints. It's something about the Saints. I just can't pick against them. I'm picking the Saints.
Yeah, I'm picking the Saints too, man, because the Steelers they traded away their best receiver to
Okay.
the Chicago Bears, and I think that's just gonna make things more problematic for them.
Well,
So
Tom Ross picked the Steelers in this
you pick the
situation. So
Steelers.
yeah, so he gonna eat an L. He gonna eat an L for this one. Yeah, he gonna eat that L for this one. All right, so let's get to the next game, man. Let's talk about the Broncos. They playing the Titans. Who you got in this game?
Uh, let's see, man.
I'm picking the
This is
Titans, man.
tough.
I'm picking the
This is a
Titans.
tough one.
It's a weird game because I can understand why the Broncos are being picked because the Titans are suffering, as a team. But they're just the better team, man. They got the better they got the better record. They're a stronger team, so I'm picking the Titans.
You know what, man? The the Broncos had a longer week to because they played that game over or they played well they can't they're coming off a bye. So I think the Broncos are gonna win this game, man.
Okay, but a bye does one or two things. It's like basketball when you come and you basically waiting on a team. It's one or two things. Either you're gonna come out fresh or you're gonna come out rusty. That's what the bye does. It makes you fresh or it makes you rusty. In this scenario, I think it's going to make them rusty, and I feel like the Titans, just because they have can't come off of a hellified win last week, I got them winning.
Titans lost last week. They went up against the Chiefs. You forgot?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, they went up against the Chiefs. So they because they lost, they got something to prove. So I got the Titans winning this shit.
Okay. I think the Broncos are gonna pull up the upset.
Okay, all right, yeah. So let's get to the Green Bay game. Green Bay Packers. Have you and Ross learned your lesson to stop picking against Aaron Rodgers? Or let me see if y'all still did not learn y'all lesson. Y'all gonna keep picking Aaron Rodgers. So who you got in the Green Bay game?
In the Green Bay game,
Mm-hmm. Because they
I'm
playing the
going with the.
Cowboys. You already
Yeah, I'm
know I'm
going with the
picking the
Cowboys,
Cowboys.
bro.
I'm picking the Cowboys. You already know
I'm
that
going with the
shit.
Cowboys.
Okay. Well, Ross, hey, ain't learned his lesson with Aaron Rodgers. He got the Packers. I think this week, this is his game changing week. If I'm looking at the way he's making picks, because normally in his football enthusiast mind, he doesn't make risky picks like this. But I think he's doing this so that he can get some kind of wins or whatever to kind of give himself some differential. Because this is very risky even for him.
Mm.
But yeah, because he's picking the Packers. I don't know why he's picking the Packers against the Cowboys. You know, I'm not an enthusiast like you guys, but that pick just don't make no fucking sense. Yes.
Yeah,
He's not here to defend himself, so I ain't gonna get on him too much. Um, yeah, I'm sure he's gonna
yeah.
text me and be like, "What the fuck you
That's
talking about?"
puzzling. Yeah, that's a puzzling pick. I don't know why he
Yeah,
made that pick.
that's some game changer shit he was
Yeah,
doing, man. So let's get to the next one, man.
yeah.
Uh,
Dallas is coming off a bye too.
yeah, and they this is not gonna be a buy where they're lazy. This is gonna be a buy where they're gonna be fresh. This is gonna be a
Yeah,
buy where Dak Prescott. Let me tell you something, man. The Packers, Dak Prescott gonna have 500 passing yards on the ass. 500, easy. It's gonna be easy work. Easy work, man. This is gonna be easy work. All right, let's get to the next game. Vegas. Let's talk about Vegas, man. How you see this game playing out?
man. I think well, because right now, I think Vegas is gonna win this game because a lot of stuff is coming out about the head coach not calling the right plays. Derek Carr not living up to
How
the
do you feel? How do you
expectations.
feel with all that controversy coming out with the Vegas, man? How you feel about that?
I mean, I knew it was gonna get like this because they were supposed to meet a lot of expectations, a lot of hype, with Devontae Adams going over there and playing with his quarterback that he played with in college when they used to play in Fresno State together. So these guys are not uh, delivering. They're not fitting the bill. So he's even made there was some coming out saying that he made a comment towards Derek Carr saying that he got to play better. So, I mean, this is a game where they can build some confidence. They can try to salvage whatever is left of their season, starting with this game, because the Colts, man, are terrible. That's a team where they look like they're gonna go. They're going into rebuilding phase. They had just hired a guy that has no experience coaching. The quarterback is not the right quarterback. Jonathan Taylor, he's been hurt in and out of the lineup. Their defense doesn't look like the defense of old. Uh, the Raiders should win this game, man. If they don't win this game, uh, that there some people are saying that dude might be fired. He might be let go. That coach.
Why you say that?
Uh, I'm not saying that. It's media talking heads. Those people.
Do you think they're gonna fire him?
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna fire him. It's the first season. But hey, it's the NFL, man. You never know. Anything can happen.
All right, so let's get to the next game, man.
What's your pick?
Shit.
You chose
All
the
right.
Raiders?
Oh, my pick. I'm picking. Listen, man. I don't anything. The fact that they playing in Vegas, man. How they gonna be focused? Like, I don't know. I just never could pick the Raiders, man. Because first of all, they are a garbage team, and then on top of that, they moved to Las Vegas. That just made them even more garbage. Like, how can they focus being there? So I'm going with the Colts.
Okay.
Yeah, now I don't trust no team called the Raiders. Any team last name Raiders, that automatic garbage. And
Hey
then on
man.
top of that, now they play on in Vegas. That's double garbage on top of that.
When you take that L for making that pick, you're gonna have to wear it.
Oh, come on, man. The Colts are. This is one of those games where you got two evenly garbage ass teams, but the Colts are just a little less garbage. So I don't lose no skin with two garbage ass teams. I really don't. This is not one of those things where I eat it out because it's like, okay, both teams were garbage. Just the more either the least garbage team won or the more garbage team won. But they both garbage.
Hmm.
But I'm confident in the Colts. I'm confident that they're gonna get the job done because you and Ross picked the Raiders, right?
Yeah, we picked the Raiders.
Okay, all right. So let's get to the next game. Let's talk about the Cardinals. Who you got in that game?
Uh, Against the Rams.
Damn right.
Man, that's the Rams have been playing bad. They can't score. They become obvious team on the offensive end. I mean, I think this is the game where the Cardinals power through and finally win a game because they've been close, but they just haven't been able to win these games. I think they win it because the Rams are just not the team they were last year. You know,
Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now who I got. Because I don't play when it comes to this. When I'm sitting here looking at the overall matchups and everything, I'm picking the Rams, man. Screw that. Because the last few weeks when I've picked the Cardinals, they've put me in a bind. Every time I've picked them, I've always eaten an L from them. So I'm not picking them no more. Just not. I'm learning to stay away from them. So you got
there's
the
some
Cardinals?
dudes in the comments asking questions.
Yeah, the MLK dude that asked the question about Jacoby Brissett, we already covered that. We'll just get back to that. And then Kev Carr, we'll get back to that, but we still got to close out these games here. The Rams. Who you got? You got the Cardinals?
Yeah, I chose the Cardinals. I think they finally get a win because
And
the
it looks
Rams are
like Ross
just
chose the Cardinals. I'm loving this because this is another game changer for me. This is separation right here because I'm the only one that picked the
okay.
Rams. So separation. I'm gonna have another. Listen, man. By the end of this week, either we're gonna be tied or I'm gonna be ahead of you. I'm sorry to tell you that, but we're gonna be tied. Or I'm ahead of you because there's already 3 games where there's separation. Okay, so now let's get to the Niners. This is gonna be your Achilles heel right here. I already know to pick against the Niners, so you know I'm already gonna pick against the Niners. I'm picking the Chargers. I'm putting that out there. Anytime the Niners play, I pick against them. Automatic. It's in my bloodline to pick against the Niners. So I'm picking the Chargers out the gate. Who you got? Even though I already know who you got, but who you got?
You already know I got my team, Niners,
Okay, good. That's gonna be another
all day.
separation right there, boy. Another separation. And you know why it's gonna be separation? Because it's gonna be off of bias. The fact that you picked the Niners. And Ross picked the Niners too.
Bias, okay.
So Ross picked the Niners too. So I definitely am gonna get separation from y'all. Separation, boy. All right, now let's talk about the last game. The Commodores, they are playing the Eagles. Who you got? I got the Eagles beating the Commodores. Who you got?
I got the Eagles.
All right. And why? Let's see who Ross picked. Don't tell me Ross done messed up. Damn, Ross picked the
Ross picked the
Commodores.
Commanders.
Ross picked the Commodores. Whoosh. Ross is fucked up now. He done fucked up. Ross gonna have interesting. He's gonna have a failed week, man.
Uh,
How
I
you
think
pick the
Ross just trying to be
Commodores
different, man.
over the 8-0 Eagles, dog? No, he's tripping, Richie Rich. He's tripping.
He's just trying to be different. That's what it is. Like, cause any given Sunday, sometimes these upsets can happen. So that's how any given Sunday is. And
I see what he's
every
doing, man, by his picks. This is his. This is this dude don't take this kind of risk. This dude's like you. He's logical with his picks and everything. He's trying to get separation, but this is separation gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles are at home, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna win. They're gonna lose this game, especially to a team like the Commanders.
Sorry
It's
to
not
tell you this,
happening.
bro. Separation gone wrong. Now let's answer the questions. MLK010 said, "Do you trust Jacoby Brissett versus Miami or Kirk Cousins versus Buffalo? Trying to decide who to start." Go ahead and answer that question.
I mean, I trust Brissett over over Kirk Cousins a lot more because Brissett, he knows he played for this team. He was on this team last season.
Mm-hmm.
So he already has an idea of what that secondary, what that defense can do, and they haven't been really playing well. You know what I'm saying? They've looked terrible the last 2-3 weeks, allowing teams to gash them through passing and rushing. So I believe Brissett, man, he's gonna be able to do fairly well against that Miami team on Sunday. Kirk Cousins, he's got to go in Buffalo playing the cold. Uh, Buffalo, and plus Buffalo gonna be playing with a mean streak because they lost to the Jets. They lost to a division rival.
Facts.
So
Facts.
they're gonna go into this game. That defense is gonna go into this game with more sense of urgency. They're gonna try to get pressure on Kirk Cousins.
Facts. All right. So now let's answer that next question. Old buddy said, have Mahomes, Saquon, Etienne, J. Jeff, Pittman, K. Walker. His bench is Imwell, Lockett, J. Rob. I'm 5-4, one game back from playoff. Got offered Mahomes, K. Walker, Etienne for Herbert, CMC, Waddle, Amari. Do I do it?
Mahomes, Saquon, Etienne, Justin Jefferson, Pittman, K. Walker. Man, your squad already looks solid, man. Saquon gonna ball out this week. I know he is. Etienne, he's gonna be. That guy's been consistent. He's been getting his numbers. Uh, Justin Jefferson, he should do. Even though I think the Bills are gonna get pressure on Kirk Cousins. I believe Justin Jefferson is going to still be able to produce get you a touchdown because the Bills' secondary is hampered with injuries. So Justin Jefferson is going to have opportunities to make plays and get you some points. Mahomes, he's going to get you points. The Jaguars, they're a team, they're all over the place.
Yep.
You already your running backs are straight, man. Your receivers are straight. Jefferson and Pittman. You already have some of these. You already have some of these players on your team. You know, Justin Herbert. You got to remember he's going up against that San Francisco 49ers defensive line.
Yep.
They're gonna come. They're rested from that week that bye, and they're gonna come for him. He's gonna
That's the only
thrive.
thing the 49ers got going for them that's good. That D line.
Yeah, they're gonna get pressure on Herbert. I see you got CMC. He's the new 49ers running back. But really, man, you can't do better than Saquon and Etienne. You got solid running backs.
Yeah.
Waddle, I could see him edging out Justin Jefferson. I could see him having a really good day on the Browns. But Justin Jefferson, he should be able to get you some points. Amari Cooper, Pittman, I think those guys are kind of like cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Your team is solid already, man, and you already got K. Walker, Kenneth Walker on your team. You got 3 solid running backs. You got 2 decent receivers, and you got a beast in Mahomes.
The verdict is basically don't make no sub outs. Keep it as it is.
Yeah, keep it as it is.
Okay. Anything you want to tell these guys forecast wise for this week for them to pay attention to from a fantasy football before we get off this thing for week 10?
For week 10?
Yeah. Like, what's your overall summary you want to give people?
I mean, if it hasn't been said, man, the guys to normally go after this week. Yeah, the guys to normally go after this week, Tua, he's gonna ball out. He's gonna do his thing against the Browns. Saquon Barkley, that's the guy to pay attention to because Houston Texans have the worst running defense in the NFL. I think Saquon is gonna ball out. So Kev Carr already has Saquon Barkley on his team. Keep that guy on your team. I believe he's gonna do extremely well, especially having the week off. That's a running back that should be on everybody's radar because he had a week to recuperate. He's already running for 90 some yards a game, and he's top 3 in rushing. That's a guy to make sure you start. Yeah, he's in your lineup for this week. Receiver wise, you can't go wrong with having the Tyreek Hills, the Waddles, the Justin Jeffersons, those guys. But you got to pay attention to those dudes on the Seattle Seahawks. Tyler Lockett, that's a dude that's been balling. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their secondary is hampered. That's a guy that should be making some plays in that secondary. On that secondary, Tyler Lockett. Low-key quarterbacks to look out for.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. He's gonna get you points because he's not just gonna. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's gonna not only be passing it, but he's gonna be rushing it too. He gets you points with his arm, and he's gonna get you points with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Justin Fields.
Do you think it's good to talk about the Vikings quarterback? They've been balling. The Vikings been balling.
Yeah, but I think Bills, man, defense are gonna come to play. Like that line and those linebackers, they're gonna headhunt for Kirk Cousins. Okay. I go with Justin Fields. Justin Fields gonna ball out. That was a preview what he did on Miami. Lions defense is terrible. They're horrendous. Justin Fields gonna have a monster week. If that's a quarterback you can pick up, go with him. He started things are starting to open up for him. He's starting to get more comfortable with the NFL, playing in the NFL. You can see that.
What about tight ends?
Tight ends. Go with Goddard on the Eagles. Goddard, Gesicki on the Dolphins. I think he's going to be able to show out in this game against the Browns.
They're really going to show up and show out. They, like I told you, Tua going to have 600-yard passing. They're going to do the Browns up, man.
Knox. I think Knox on the Bills is going to have a good game. Knox on the Bills since Josh Allen is not going to be able to throw long balls with his UCL issue. I think he's going to be trying to find Knox, dumping the ball down to Knox so he could get yards after the catch. So that's a tight end to pay attention to going into this week. And also TJ Hawkinson, since because the Bills, he's a player that's going to be able to make plays because they're going to try to guard the Justin Jeffersons, the
Any
Adam
DBs?
Thielens,
Any DBs to look at?
DBs.
Yeah, defensive backs, cornerbacks.
I mean that ties in with defenses. Like with fantasy, you can only pick defense. You can't pick a defensive back. You got to pick a team defense. So a team defense to pick for this week, you could pick the Dallas Cowboys. I think they get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. You could play them. Aaron Rodgers is not going to do what he wants on that team. They're gonna get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and they're gonna make him make mistakes. You know, and Aaron Rodgers, they have injuries to their running back. Was it Aaron Jones? He got injured last week, so I don't think he's gonna be playing this week. So that's gonna put more pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Cowboys gonna be able to thrive on them. Another defense to pay attention to: the Giants against the Texans. That's another defense to look at. Go with the Giants against the Texans. They're gonna limit them. The Texans are not gonna put up a lot of points on that defense. Look at the Saints against the Steelers. The Steelers are already a offensively a inept team this year. They find it a tough. They already having problems with scoring the football, and the Saints they don't have the defense of old, but they're not really going to need to be that kind of defense to limit the Steelers. The Steelers are just a team, and they can't score the football. So you're going to be able to get good ground picking a defense like that. That defense is going to be able to get you some points. The Steelers got a rookie quarterback in. They're going to make him make mistakes, get a few turnovers. That's going to get you points. Get some sacks on them. That's going to get you points. That's what you got to be looking for. Another defense, the Eagles. Go with the Eagles against the Commanders. They're going to get some pressure on Heineke. They're going to make him make mistakes. They're gonna get that Eagles secondary. They get turnovers, man. They generate points. They get turnovers. That's another defense to look at.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think we pretty much covered everything. Said what we had to say. Richy Rich, man, you gave a hellified breakdown. You answered everybody's questions. You did your thing like the football connoisseur and enthusiast that you are. Hopefully everybody is comfortable. Everybody's set with what they have, and they can run with that for this week 10. And then we'll check in on Sunday, me, you, and Tom Ross, and see where we're at with the picks. So, Richy Rich has been real. It's been great.
All right.
Enjoy your
I'm
weekend.
looking forward to it, man.
And come Sunday, let's just say the guy who's gonna be leading by the end of Monday, after let's say by Tuesday, it's gonna be me. After the picks.
Okay, and then you woke up.
That's funny. All right. Well, you have a great one, man. You take care. Everyone else that tuned in, hopefully you guys got what you needed. You're good to go. We helped you out with your week 10 for fantasy football. And we'll tap in again next week. It's been real. Peace.
Peace, man.